It was a crisp November evening in 1971 when a man named D.B. Cooper boarded Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, a Boeing 727, at Portland International Airport, bound for Seattle, Washington. He was dressed in a business suit, appeared calm and composed, and carried a briefcase. No one aboard that plane knew that the seemingly ordinary passenger would become one of the most mysterious figures in modern history. Cooper was about to vanish without a trace, leaving behind a legacy of questions that have never been answered. His identity, his motives, and his fate would remain a tantalizing puzzle for investigators and conspiracy theorists alike for decades to come. The flight was just beginning, like any other. A routine journey from one city to another. Passengers were settling into their seats, flight attendants were preparing the cabin for takeoff, and the crew was ready for a smooth, uneventful flight. But that sense of normalcy was about to be shattered by an event that would remain unsolved, a bizarre crime that seemed to defy logic. At 3:00 p.m., as the flight cruised at 10,000 feet above the ground, the man who would come to be known as D.B. Cooper handed a note to the flight attendant. She, assuming it was a love letter or a business card, slid it into her pocket without even looking at it. He pressed her, insisting she read it immediately. Upon doing so, she was stunned by what the note said. It read, "I have a bomb. I want $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck standing by in Seattle to refuel the plane. If these conditions are met, I will release the passengers unharmed. If not, I will blow up the plane." At first, the flight attendant thought it was a joke, but Cooper quickly opened his briefcase to reveal what appeared to be a bomb, a collection of wires and red sticks, and a device that looked suspiciously like a detonator. His calm demeanor and unwavering confidence soon convinced her that this was no joke, and she immediately alerted the flight crew. The captain, William Scott, and his team assessed the situation, deciding that the best course of action was to comply with Cooper's demands. There was no way to verify the legitimacy of the bomb, and the safety of the passengers was paramount. The crew made the decision to divert the plane to Seattle, as requested. Cooper's demands were simple yet clear: $200,000 in untraceable $20 bills, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck ready to refuel the aircraft. The authorities were quickly notified, and the FBI began to formulate a plan. Meanwhile, Cooper remained in control. He kept his cool throughout the entire ordeal, even as the plane landed in Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. While the plane sat on the runway, passengers and crew were instructed to remain on board. The money was brought to the plane, and the parachutes were secured. Cooper received his ransom and, in exchange, agreed to release the 36 passengers from the plane, leaving behind only the crew. Now in possession of the cash and parachutes, Cooper made another strange request. The plane was to take off again, heading south toward Mexico. The crew, no longer in a position to negotiate, complied. As the plane ascended once more into the sky, Cooper instructed the flight crew to descend to an altitude of 10,000 feet and to fly at a speed of around 200 knots. Then, as the plane flew over a dense, wooded area near the Cascade Range, Cooper made his move. He opened the rear stairway door, stepped into the night, and jumped out of the plane, carrying a parachute and a bag full of cash with him. Just like that, he was gone, vanishing into the darkness of the night. The FBI immediately launched an extensive search effort. Ground teams scoured the area where Cooper had jumped, and aircraft were dispatched to fly over the region, looking for any sign of him. But despite their best efforts, no trace of the man was ever found. The bag of cash, parachutes, and any clues that might have linked Cooper to the scene were absent. The case baffled investigators. How had he managed to disappear so completely? How had he known so much about the aircraft systems and the region? What had driven him to undertake such a high-stakes heist? And, most of all, where had he gone? Over the years, numerous theories about D.B. Cooper's identity and fate have emerged. Some believe that Cooper did not survive the jump, that the elements or the rough terrain of the Cascade Range claimed him. Others argue that he must have had an accomplice on the ground, someone who helped him escape. Some even suggested that Cooper had military or aviation training, given his detailed knowledge of the aircraft's systems and how to deploy the rear stairway. But as time passed, these theories began to grow more speculative, with no solid evidence emerging to confirm any of them. The FBI's investigation, which at one point involved thousands of agents and hours of work, eventually slowed down. The case went cold. For years, Cooper's true identity remained elusive, and the mystery surrounding his fate seemed unsolvable. Despite exhaustive efforts, there was no breakthrough. As decades passed, the case became a fascinating subject of discussion and intrigue, inspiring books, documentaries, and even popular culture. Yet, despite the mystery and the unanswered questions, one thing remained clear: D.B. Cooper had pulled off a heist that was as audacious as it was mysterious. It was a story that would be remembered for generations, and a case that would remain unsolved. But did D.B. Cooper truly disappear into the night? Or had he found a way to outsmart the authorities and escape to a new life? As time goes on, new theories continue to surface, and the legend of Cooper only grows stronger. Could there still be a clue hidden out there in the vast wilderness where he disappeared? Could someone, one day, finally uncover the truth about what happened to the infamous hijacker who vanished without a trace? The investigation into the disappearance of D.B. Cooper remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in the history of American crime. The truth may never come to light, but the story of the daring skyjacker who vanished into thin air will continue to captivate the imagination of people for years to come. And in the minds of many, the question remains: who was D.B. Cooper, and where did he go? Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more intriguing stories and mysteries. Don't forget to subscribe to get the latest updates delivered directly to you.